And it just ends just like that. What's going on, everybody? You get that up? Whoa, no, not what I wanted to do. Not what I wanted to do. I could be such a boomer sometimes with that. What's everybody doing tonight? Good, I hope. We got a lot of people in the house. We got Brandon True Blood. We got Rusty. Yo, Rusty. We got DJ Play Nice. We got Tim. I can't even say his Robel. Holy God, I love this song. It's a great song. Edwin Vaughn. We got James. How are you? Yeah, so many great songs. The Wizard. When the Wizard walks by. Let's see. Who else? Timothy Sokol. How are you? Tom Davis, who I have in the background. We'll bring him on in a minute. Edwin Vaughn says, "You all will hate. Never ever like generic rubbish rock. Spinal Tap was better." And look, I get that. Not every band is you're gonna love, and some musicians you love, and some you hate, and others will love them, and you just can't stand them. It's just personal taste, right? And thank God we live in a world where we have so much variety, and we don't have to listen to the same stuff. But I always really liked Ozzy ever since the first time I heard him. We got Pulse Kebab in the house. Let's see. Who else? Did I get everybody? Did I miss everybody? I think I got everybody. Yeah, so pronounce Robull. Sorry. Robull. Tim Robull. So yeah, I don't think anybody's like shocked that Ozzy passed. Uh, it's kind of it's like me and Tom were talking before the show. That it's like when Keith Richards finally kicks it. You're not going to be surprised, but hey, we were lucky went as long as he did, right? And that he didn't die when he was like 25 or something, and he created so much. He had such a full career. His career was pretty much over in 1979. Um, 79, 80, whenever he got kicked out of Black Sabbath. I think it was 79. And he drunk himself into near death. And it was Sharon, who rescued him. He was holed up in a hotel room in L.A., just surrounded by whiskey bottles, and he was going to drink himself to death. And she pulled him back from the brink. And there's a funny story, and I couldn't find a good telling of the story. And I've heard it from somewhere, probably Ozzy himself, like the real exact story, because you can find variations of the story, but it's hard to find the story. So I'll bring up pictures. So Sharon had rescued him from oblivion, and they got Randy Rhodes, and they put together an album, and then they were shopping the album around. They were trying to get signed, and I believe it was CBS. They got a meeting with CBS, and they went in there with doves. Ozzy has doves in his pocket, and once they get signed, they would release the doves into the air, and it'd be all beautiful thing. So hold on, let me share this screen because it's just such a great story. So share that. So they go into this meeting, and they release the doves, or at least one of the doves, and the dove flies around, and everybody's like, "Oh, like look at this woman next to Ozzy, right? Oh, it's so nice." And the dove just it lands on Ozzy's leg, and he picks it up, and he's like, "Oh," the woman's like, "Oh, so nice." And Ozzy reaches down, bites the fucking head off the dove, and spits it out. And there he is, blood dripping down his leg. This really happened. This isn't a made up AI or anything. This is like the legend of where this shit starts, is because he was drunk and everybody was horrified. He threw the dove carcass on the table and it's all flapping around, and they're like, "You need to leave. You need to go. Get the fuck out of here. Don't ever come back." And that's where like the real legend of Ozzy as like the Prince of Darkness and just all fucked up really got its real start. I mean, obviously he was with Black Sabbath and they had kind of, look of the occult and everything with the crosses and everything. But if you listen to his music back then, like if you read the words and whatnot, they weren't really, I mean, they kind of touched on subjects, but a lot of it's like, take care of the world, or, you're going to have just a burnt out planet and, all this kind of thing. Let me see if I can pull up another picture that I got here. Yeah, here's a close up of that's him spitting out the dove head. You can actually see the head of the bird flying out of Ozzy's mouth. And and then so they had another bird that was in Ozzy's other jacket pocket. So after they got thrown out of the meeting, he's with the bassist. I forget his name. Rudy Salazar, I think is his name. And Rudy's like, "What's that in your pocket?" He pulls out the other dove and he bites the head off that. And there's a picture of that. That's Ozzy. Yep, there you go. I'm going to bring on Tommy. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm not sure that I want to follow in on that note.
Well, that's just kind of like how Ozzy was. Ozzy was he was such a character,
Yeah.
just, people think, oh, he was dark. He was, sinister and all this, but, really he was kind of like your drunk uncle,
He was a drunken lout. He really was a drunken lout.
Oh, why am I big and you're small? Let's do that. There we go.
Well, and everybody's got to remember the time period too. I mean, that was 80. I think in 74 is when they threw a live chicken on Alice Cooper's stage, and he picked it up and said, "Hey, look at the chicken," threw it back into the crowd, and the crowd ripped it apart.
Oh, yeah. Well, so then there was the further legend to the Ozzy story was at a concert early, I want to say 83, once he had his solo career kind of going, Diary of a Madman and all this crazy train, somebody threw a bat on stage at one of his shows, a real bat, and he thought it was a fake bat because it was just laying there because of the lights. The lights had made it stop moving. And he reaches down, he grabs it, and he bites the head off and spits it out. And then they're like, "That's real." And then he had to get rabies, a whole thing of rabies shots.
Yep, because they didn't know if the bat was rabid. I think it got lost, and they weren't able to do a autopsy or a test on it to see if it was rabid or not. But yeah, he actually did that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Polskova brings up a good one. Yes, he had to. He pissed on the Alamo.
Yes.
I forgot about that one.
Yep.
That might have been during like when he was with Motley Crue and he was sniffing up the ants like their cocaine, like when they were down. They did that whole movie, the Motley Crue movie, and there's a little section in there of Ozzy when he was touring with them and how fucking out of control Ozzy was.
Mm-hmm.
So, it would involve Marilyn Manson and all these sickos have a special place in hell. I don't know. I might get you to change your mind there, Edwin.
Edwin, I'll tell you right now, we're talking Lemmy and Ozzy right now are drinking beers with St. Peter. I can guarantee it.
He a lot of performers, they put on a performance, it's a show. And, Ozzy was pretty much as regular as a guy as you could probably get. as far as, he had I got clips in here of his comedic side, his, his last concert there that he did. I want to say they raised a lot of money. It was like 120 million or something like that. It was something like outrageous.
It was a lot of money.
Yeah, it's all getting donated to 3 places. One is a child's hospital. The other one is like for Parkinson's research, and I forget the third. But Jesus picks it different. I'm not gonna.
We're not gonna argue with Edwin.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I thought he was a good performer. I thought in reality he wasn't a bad guy. There are guys like you mentioned, Marilyn Manson, who I'm like, yeah, that guy's off. He's not right. That guy's just not a right.
He's a
kind of guy.
Strange dude. Yeah, I agree.
But Mouthgape Ape, how are you? Mouthgape Ape says $190 million.
Wow.
All getting donated. So, that's pretty admirable. Anyway, so let's dip into some. Yeah, if you don't like Ozzy, you're not going to like this show because I'm going to play Ozzy music. There's going to be music. There's going to be Ozzy clips. This is all Ozzy tonight. This is my tribute because I appreciated his music since, like I said, since the first time that I heard it, which I want to say was 82, because that's when I really kind of discovered heavy rock.
You're dating yourself, buddy.
Well, I was like a preteen, so.
Well, so was I, but you're dating yourself, man.
Yeah, the first album. So I had a sibling that was, way into all the early stuff, and they got me right from AC/DC, Back in Black. That was like the first where I was like, ooh, what is this? What is this music? This is pretty good. And then I want to say it was like the next like heavy band was Ozzy. And then I got into like Twisted Sister and Dio and on and on and on and on. So, but then around 85, it all changed. That's when it got like too kind of, I don't know. It just got stupid with the hair metal and the makeup and smoking in the boys' room, and all that. Like, she's my cherry pie and pour some sugar on me and all that.
Yeah, there was good and bad in all of that, but mostly bad.
Mostly bad. It was mostly, and a lot of it had that synth. They put synth into it, that 80s synth sound that just was terrible.
I've never liked Van Halen because of the synth.
Well, he was early synth stuff, so I liked like 84 was a good album, and I like to do synth on my own. I do.
Sure,
but to me, there's like early synth music, right, and there's late synth music, like late 80s, and the late 80s stuff was awful.
Yeah, it has its place.
Yeah,
and it has its use.
Yep. All right, let's. I think we lost. I think we might have lost Edwin. Hopefully he'll be back next show. That's all right. Let me do this. Share screen.
Who'd we lose?
Edwin, who was like...
Oh, Edwin. Don't worry about him.
We'll do this one. I'm not going to play the whole video, but we'll play a little bit of it. And let me know if you can or cannot hear this. Hopefully you should be able to hear it.
I'm dying. It's a fact. There's no need for a doctor to tell me. That farewell performance was something I insisted on doing. I don't want to disappear silently. I have to say goodbye in person. Happy birthday!
So it's my belief that that whole last concert, they knew like he was terminal with whatever terminal was. Like, I don't know if it's the Parkinson's or something worse, but to me, I think they knew, and he wanted to. I mean, he really loved performing. He really loved the fans. He really loved being on stage. To me, he if you met him, he'd probably be just the nicest freaking guy, you know, in my opinion. I could be totally wrong, but it just seems like he was like kind of genuine guy. Although, you know, kind of fucked up a bit in the head.
Well, did you hear what he demanded though that they did on that concert?
He wanted to stand up. I know that. I think at the end.
He did, but he demanded that they tie him into the chair so he couldn't stand up because he knew he'd fall over.
Yeah.
And at the end, like you stated, he tried to get up, but they had actually tied him to the chair to where he couldn't. Yeah. He didn't want to make a fool of himself, I think.
I mean, what a way to go, though, you know?
Yeah.
You put on the last show, and then, what was it? That was only like a couple weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago or something like
17 days is what I heard today.
17 days. Yep. 17 days ago. That's crazy. So to me, like, they knew. But, you know, like I said, like, it was nice that we all got to enjoy him for as long as we did. We were, I think, very fortunate in that fact. So let's see. Supposedly, this is the last video of him, known video.
Good morning. Say good morning.
Good morning.
Heavy metal legend.
So there you go. That's Ozzy's last few moments on this earth. Let's get this off, and we'll move to something else.
Oh no, the grandbaby kind of looks like him.
Yeah, very distinct look, that's for sure. I think, let's see, 9:20. I think I'm going to play a song. So the songs I'm going to play tonight are going to be kind of like early, middle, end, you know. So we're going to start with like a Sabbath song. So again, if you don't like Sabbath, if you don't like Ozzy, tonight might not be the show for you, which is fine because this is how I'm going to, you know, how I choose to celebrate his life. Let's see. Okay. And I chose ones that are, like, for me, iconic for me, and that, like, I have one, like the first video I ever saw of him, which was Bark of the Moon, which to me was just, he was kind of funny, but the music was great. And just all kind of live performances here, so you can kind of see how his career kind of went going forward. So here's the first one. This is Paranoid. Great song. great song. Love that fucking song.
You know that was a filler.
Oh yeah.
That was a last minute to fill out Paranoid, the album that they actually named after it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny how those things kind of work out. That um, the most thing that they think is not going to be anything turns into a big something.
Yep.
Yeah. Kind of like how, kind of like that deep fake of pop that just won't die. That they did.
By the way, somebody bitch slap Edwin. Danzig sucks dick. Anyway.
Well, dancing isn't bad. There's that mother.
Oh, God, I hate that song. So overplayed.
Well, it was overplayed in the 90s.
It still is.
Is it? I don't know about that.
Well, it is in Seattle.
Well, you're in Seattle, for fuck's sake.
I know. God, they play nothing but Nirvana 24/7, and I just want to kill people.
I could take Nirvana. I don't mind Nirvana, but I don't know if I could take them 24/7.
Dude, trust me. I've gotten to the point where the only song that I liked by them was Penny Royalty, and it was a terrible recording. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, that song. I don't know if I dig that song.
Well, it was on their last album.
Yeah. I liked, what was it? Hey, wait, I got a big old brain.
Yeah, that was Teen Spirit.
No, that wasn't Teen Spirit. It was on the In Utero, but it was.
I forget
the name of it.
Yeah, but I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, I like that one. All right. So you never saw him, though?
I never got to see him live. No.
So I was fortunate to see him twice. So I saw him once in the early 2000s. And here's a funny thing. Back then, even, it was like, oh, is Ozzy going to make it or is he not going to make it? Because he had fallen and broke his leg. And they had to cancel a couple shows. And it was like, oh, shit, is he like not like it? How's he doing? Like we were worried that he wasn't going to make the show. And or he wasn't even going to make life, but he made the show, and it was a great show. It was around Christmas time, and I was telling you behind stage there, he flew out in a sleigh, like a big fucking sleigh that they had put on like cables that went all the way around the entire concert venue. It was like a stadium, but not like a football stadium, but like I forget the name of the place, he had a cannon that was shooting snow from the cannon. And I remember he got pretty close to us with that, with the flying around thing. He went around the entire fucking stadium, and then he finally landed on stage. It was fucking great. And he hobbled out there on crutches and put on the show. And then I saw him for not this last Black Sabbath one, but when they reunited for like the last tour. I want to say in
2017, wasn't it?
Something like that.
I think that's when it ended. 17. Was 2017.
Yeah,
I think that was the end of it. Was in 2017. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that was a good show. That was a really good show. And yeah, that was it. And I haven't seen him since. But yeah, he was a great performer. And I remember thinking to myself, even in that last one, that his voice, I know it was not as good in the last show he just did. Granted, he was 76 years old with major health problems, as we now know. Mm-hmm. But I remember thinking to myself back in 2017, when I saw him at that Black Sabbath thing, that his voice was really still Ozzy, you know? His voice maintained through his entire career, I believe. I at least felt that.
Well, and you're right. Absolutely. I've heard a lot of other people say the same thing. One of the ones that you'll see that's kind of dropped off is like Anne from Heart. She isn't quite as strong as she used to be.
That is, you know,
she's also a lot heavier than she used to be.
She is. Yeah, and Heart-Shaped Box. That's the name of the song.
Yeah,
I was
they
trying
just
to.
called it out for us. I couldn't remember the name of the song.
Yeah.
I knew it was In Utero, just like you said. And Penny Girl T was on In Utero.
Oh man, Jimmy just had. What color are Kurt Cobain's eyes?
Oh God, he watched the Brandon Herrera video today.
Blue. One blew this way, the other blew that way. Oh, my God.
Did you watch it yet?
No, I have not seen it.
Okay, they did the Kurt Cobain suicide breakdown today.
Okay.
That's where he's getting that joke from, because it was in the video.
I see.
Yeah, you're a sick motherfucker, Jimmy.
So I'm going to put up. This is. I don't know how deep we'll go into this one because it's like 17 minutes long. Maybe we'll skip through it, but it has some interesting stuff in here with Ozzy, like his early life and let's see, his lifestyle, some of the cars he had, his real estate. You know, it was kind of like a full-on like breakdown of everything Ozzy. So we'll skip through some of it. We're not going to watch the whole thing, and believe me, this show is going to be copyright striked left, right, and center. So watch now, because it might even get taken down depending on how hard they go on the copyright. Because I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna play songs. All right, screen share. I don't care. All right. So this is the lifestyle of Ozzy Osbourne. It's only from 8 months ago, so relatively up to date as far as up to 8 months.
I work out every day, but I had to. I had no choice because the doctor was telling me I was killing myself.
Prepare to dive into the electrifying world of Ozzy Osbourne, the legendary Prince of Darkness, who redefined heavy metal as Black Sabbath's frontman and achieved solo stardom with hits like...
All right, we'll just kind of skip. This is, yes, it's an AI video, but there's some good information in it.
Well, and you're echoing
Early
something
life.
fierce.
What's that?
Chill any room in 90 seconds with it.
Did you say
you're echoing something fierce? You need to mute one of your streams. It's feeding back on you, man.
Really? All right.
Yep.
Let me see if I can fix that.
Yeah, just mute one of them and you'll be all right.
Let's see if that does it. All right. I'm going to try to get past this stupid commercial here. Hold on.
Born on December 3rd, 1948, in Birmingham, England, John Michael Ozzy Osbourne emerged from humble beginnings to become a titan of heavy metal. Growing up in the working-class district of Aston, he was...
Is that better, by the way?
Now you're still echoing.
It's the best I could do. So I could do.
Was one of 6 children in a modest household. His father, Jack Osbourne, toiled as a toolmaker on night shifts.
You know what's interesting? You never hear about Ozzy's siblings.
Yeah, he's the 6th of them.
Right. You never hear about any of the other Osbournes. I guess they're like, we don't want to be in the limelight. If they're still alive, who knows if they're still alive?
Shit, they might all drown
his mother,
themselves to death.
Maybe.
Lillian, assembled car components during the day. Ozzy's early education was marked by challenges. He grappled with dyslexia and attention deficit disorder, which made traditional schooling difficult. At 15, he left school and undertook various low-paying jobs, including stints as a laborer, plumber, and apprentice toolmaker. A brush with the law led to a brief imprisonment for burglary.
By the way, I'm not sure what that arrest was for, that they just showed that was Tennessee. 1984. I don't remember what that incident was.
Isn't that a Detroit?
Yeah, it says Shelby County Justice Complex, Memphis, Tennessee.
No, I'm looking at the jersey he's wearing. Isn't that?
Oh, the jersey. I'm not sure. I
Huh.
can tell you. Looks like a hockey jersey of some sort.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
A brush with the law led to a brief imprisonment for burglary, a period that profoundly impacted his outlook on life. Despite these hurdles, music became Ozzy's sanctuary. He was particularly inspired by the Beatles, whose groundbreaking sound ignited his passion for music. In 1967, he formed his first band, Rare Breed, with bassist Geezer Butler. Although the band dissolved after only 2 performances, this collaboration laid the groundwork for future endeavors. Ozzy's path took a pivotal turn when he teamed up with guitarist Tony Iommi and drummer Bill Ward.
They're a little off on the pictures there.
Yeah, they are.
Oopsie.
To form the band Earth, which was later renamed Black Sabbath in 1969. This ensemble would go on to pioneer the heavy metal genre, with Ozzy's distinctive vocals and stage presence playing a central role in their success. Throughout his journey, Ozzy was influenced and supported by key figures. His father Jack demonstrated unwavering support. Notably, he crafted large crosses for each member of Black Sabbath to wear, offering protection against perceived curses from occult groups. Additionally, guitarist Randy...
See, but people perceive those as being occult. You know, like they were into, especially when you're singing about like wizards and black magic and Black Sabbath, and, you know, all that, right?
By the way, if you didn't see it already, St. Louis Blues NHL. That's what the jersey was.
Okay.
I got my phone blown up even by Mr. What's his name? Shithead.
I'm not sure.
Come on, Vinny. Vinny, you're supposed to come in on this point.
Vinny, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, Vincent, go fuck yourself. Go ahead, my friend.
Who joined Ozzy's solo band in the early 1980s, was instrumental in shaping his post-Black Sabbath sound, bringing a blend of classical and metal influences that defined albums like Blizzard of Oz. Yet, as he navigated the challenges of his youth, Ozzy was just beginning a journey that would revolutionize heavy metal.
That's not even them. That's
Career and...
That was like a cover band. Whoever put this together messed up some of the fucking pictures here.
Well, you said it was AI. It shows.
Yeah. Well, there's good AI and there's bad AI.
Yeah, this is obviously shit.
Yeah, well, all right. So this is, let's see what some of his lifestyle was like. I hate you commercial. These this is why these AI things are all over the place, because people cash in.
With intriguing hobbies, heartfelt philanthropy, and a penchant for the unconventional. Despite his rock and roll persona, Ozzy has a surprising passion for gardening. He finds solace in tending to his garden, a hobby that offers a stark contrast to his onstage antics. Additionally, he's an avid collector of art, with a particular fondness for contemporary pieces that adorn his homes. Ozzy and his wife Sharon have a penchant for the English countryside. They often retreat to their estate in Buckinghamshire, seeking tranquility away from the limelight. Their love for the UK countryside is so...
It's an interesting old-looking house.
That's an old estate, dude.
Yeah.
That was a lord that owned that place. I'll guarantee it.
Yeah. It looks
lord,
like
maybe even a duke.
The design looks something like out of Amsterdam with those roof styles.
Probably a Norman descent or descent lord would be my guess with that style.
So profound that they announced plans to return to England permanently, citing a desire to escape the tumultuous climate of the United States. Ozzy's philanthropic efforts are as dynamic as his music career. He has supported numerous charities, including the Elton John AIDS Foundation, Save the Children, and the Prince's Trust. Notably, he donated the damages he received from a libel case to his wife's charity, the Sharon Osbourne Colon Cancer Program. Ozzy's career is peppered with controversies that have become legendary. In 1982, he infamously bit the head off a bat during a concert, a moment that has become a part of rock folklore. Another notable incident was his arrest in San Antonio, Texas, for urinating on a cenotaph near the Alamo, leading to a decade-long ban from the city. Ozzy has a taste for traditional English fare, with a particular fondness for shepherd's pie and roast dinners. While not an avid sports fan, he has expressed admiration for boxing, appreciating the discipline and resilience it requires.
All right, now we're getting a little... I don't need to know so much about Ozzy. Oh, yeah, all the animals. He was really I don't know if do you think it was him or it was more Sharon's thing to have all those damn dogs and cats?
It was Sharon. It was
Yeah.
Sharon.
To his persona, black remains his favorite color, reflecting his enduring Gothic style. A devoted animal lover, Ozzy has had numerous pets over the
My
years.
God.
He recently mourned the loss of his beloved Pomeranian, Rocky, who had been by his side for 15 years. The Osborne family continues to open their home to rescue animals, showcasing their commitment to animal welfare. Ozzy has an impressive collection of crucifixes, a nod to his stage persona and personal beliefs. He also cherishes sentimental possessions, including gifts from fans and memorabilia from his extensive career. His jewelry collection is notable, featuring custom-made pieces that complement his distinctive style.
See, like, you know, people say, oh, you know, the Prince of Darkness and all this stuff. But if you look at him, he was really like, he was kind of had some religion going on there. You know what I mean? But I think, you know, it gets kind of mired in the persona of, you know, the biting the heads off bats and all that, you know.
Well, and remember too, the whole Prince of Darkness and all of that was the shtick. That's
Yeah, it was the stick.
It sold the brand.
Absolutely. Let me see, what can we? Let me see. Relationships. I don't care about relationships. You care about real estate?
Not really.
I care about his cars. So let's see what
the cars. He had a pretty good collection.
Vehicles and cars.
Yeah, Ferrari there.
Ozzy's car collection has featured some of the most coveted models in the automotive world. He has been known to own a Lamborghini Diablo, a high-performance Italian supercar that epitomizes speed and luxury. Additionally, his garage has housed a Rolls-Royce Phantom, reflecting his penchant for classic British elegance. A Ferrari F40, renowned for its sleek design and powerful engine, has also been part of his collection. These vehicles collectively underscore his appreciation for both performance and style.
Yep.
Beyond cars, Ozzy's passion extends to motorcycles. He has owned a custom-built chopper crafted by Count's Customs, featuring a distinctive cross-shaped gas tank and alligator hide solo seat, embodying his unique aesthetic. Additionally, he has been associated with a Yamaha Banshee 350cc quad bike.
That was the infamous quad that he fucking almost killed him.
Damn near killed him, yep.
Which he famously crashed in 2003, leading to significant injuries. Still, Ozzy's love for fast cars and bikes is just one piece of his current status as a music legend and cultural icon. Current lifestyle.
Yeah.
As of November 2024,
yeah, we don't need to know his current lifestyle.
Yeah, he's kind of working on worms right now.
Yeah, well, not quite yet, but he'll be there. So yeah, there's that. I thought that was an interesting little video. So, are you ready for? I don't know if I'll play this whole song. I mean, well, it's actually kind of short, but this was like one of Black Sabbath's top, like it broke the charts and whatnot, and they were on. Now, think of this show they're on. This is when Ozzy was really fucking drinking every day and really fucked up. This was like near the end of Black Sabbath with Ozzy. So this was 1978, and they got this song that was pretty big hit, Never Say Die. You remember this song?
Vaguely.
Yeah. So this was like one of their big hits, at least commercially. Let's see. Never Say Die. It's only 3 minutes. So fuck it. I'll play the whole thing. So enjoy Never Say Die and a very drunk Ozzy.
Right now, Never Say Die. That's the brand new one from Black Sabbath.
So there you go. That was Ozzy at his very drunkest. You can see
Actually,
it.
he looked pretty cognizant to me.
I don't know. His eyes look. He had the crazy eyes.
Mm.
He was all like bugging out. But it was interesting. I never noticed that Tommy Iommi was playing Les Paul. He's always playing SG. He was playing a Les Paul in that one.
Well, I didn't know he was a lefty.
Yeah, lefty, and he's missing two of his
fingertips. Yeah, that was right in the video.
Yeah, yep. But damn good guitars.
You know, that's why Angus Young plays a funky tuning on his guitars, because he fucked up his hand.
Yeah. Well, and I forget. There's another reason for it too.
Yeah, I don't want to say it paralyzed his third finger on his right hand or his left hand or something.
Yeah.
So he plays a weird tuning to overcome that. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. There's that video. Let's see. Now, this is just a videos of Ozzy just being Ozzy. So it's like a 6-minute video. We don't need to play the whole thing, but it's just Ozzy being his Ozzy self. What did you think of the Osbourne show?
You know, I've never watched one of them. I've seen the clips, but never watched any of them. I wasn't opposed to it. I just never caught him.
Yeah. I thought he was he became to me more like real, you know?
Yeah.
And what was funny was, to me, he seemed almost like haggard all the time. Like Sharon was just always like on his ass, and he was always just, you know, confused, as Ozzy was always, just confused.
Right.
About Sharon.
Well, remember during the first 2 seasons, he was being over medicated still from the ATV accident.
Yeah.
And I think that was the 3rd season when they sued the shit out of that doctor that was over medicating him. Because, you know, Ozzy, he can't say no to pills.
Oh, no.
Or booze or anything else.
Oh, have a good night there, apes checking out. Oh, you know what? Before I play this, we'll get into some quick Ozzy controversy. So let me...
Which one?
Well, the ones that were like that he's satanic, and the suicide solution ones.
That was so stupid. I remember that very clearly to this day.
All right, so here's Ozzy pretty much expressing to Geraldo that he's not satanic.
Ozzy, I'm glad you're on the program. I'll interview you in greater detail in a couple of minutes. The one thing I have to ask you now, though, is, of course, the vast majority of your fans and the fans of heavy metal music are not Satanists. But there is no doubt, at least not in our reporting, that heavy metal music plays a role. Every single kid whose case we know about, who committed a violent act in Satan's name, was also into heavy metal music. What's your response to that, Ozzy?
Well, I don't really know. All I do is make music, you know. I don't sit down and purposely plan to freak everybody out. I mean, I always have played heavy metal music. I suppose when I was younger and I started writing songs, my world was kind of dark and dingy, you know. I came from a working class family. I had nothing, no dough, no prospect of ever having much money, and so that's how I saw the world as a charm. So not all my songs are about Satanism.
Of course,
in fact, if you
stand by, Ozzy, I know that your lyrics are less excessive than groups like Slayer or Venom or Iron Maiden or some of the others, but still, for some reason, maybe it's because you've been around for so long, I see tattoos of your name on some of these teenage devil worshippers' arms. Wherever I see devil graffiti and satanic graffiti, I see your name also. Do you feel a sense of responsibility, Oz?
The only responsibility I feel is the fact that I'm a true musician in what I play. I don't want to make anybody start doing all this devil worship crap, because that's not my intention. Although I have sang on a few songs about the devil, that's about it. I don't want anyone to harm themselves.
What about the issue of responsibility? What about the whole thing about guilt? Do you feel responsible?
I don't feel guilty. I feel kind of persecuted by everybody because I'm not a bad guy. My intentions are not to harm anyone. In fact, it's directly the opposite. When people come to my concerts, I want them to have a good, fun evening out, And it seems to me that a lot of people judge the book by the cover more. So they write things about me where they don't even know what they're talking about,
Well, there are lots of people out there, lots of people here in our studio audience who have a very different point of view.
Yeah, Geraldo, fucking hack that he is.
Mm-hmm.
He's always
Piece of shit.
Pretty much, yeah. And, it's just the media being the media again. Oh, because they listen to heavy metal. That means they're satanic, evil, devil worshipping cultists who want to kill people.
Well, and remember, that period was a whole satanic panic.
Yes.
They were going after Dungeons and Dragons. They were going after all the heavy metal music.
Yep.
All the bands that he named off there. Yeah, they used a lot of symbolism on their album covers, but none of them were satanic at the least.
No.
Danzig was satanic.
Mother.
Yeah, well, and that's just because
that's just why they do that.
He claimed that is his religion. That's the only reason I even say that. His music really wasn't satanic.
Yeah, no. Good evening, Davina. Thanks for joining us. And Jimmy, too. Thanks for coming by. And anybody I missed, Gravedigger. So this is an interesting one because around that same time, I think he was sued because some kid either killed himself. I think he killed himself. Yeah, is what had happened. So they tried to blame the song Suicide Solution on this kid's death and basically try to say Ozzy is trying to make kids kill themselves. So this is the songwriter who wrote it with Ozzy basically explaining what Suicide Solution is about.
The Suicide Solution, a song accused of inspiring an American teenager to commit suicide. Thank you for your time this morning. You're holidaying in Australia.
Yeah, for 6 weeks.
Right. Well, the situation of finding a 19-year-old young man with his headphones on, listening to the album with the song that you wrote, Suicide Solution, with a 22 bullet that he just put into his head.
Yeah.
Do you feel any guilt?
No, not at all, because the song wasn't advising anybody to commit suicide, although the word suicide was in the title. The word solution is in the title, Suicide Solution. It was a warning basically against drinking yourself to death. Ozzy and I put that song together not long after Bon Scott, the singer from AC/DC, had drunk himself to death. And also, I just started working with Ozzy. And I could see how much he was drinking. It was kind of like me pointing the finger at Ozzy as well, saying, look, just cool it with the booze. I mean, the opening lines of the song, wine is fine, but whiskey's quicker. But suicide is slow with liquor. And it was, it was a warning against drinking yourself to death. It was got nothing to do with advice. There's no subliminal negative overtones or anything like that in the song.
Was the lyric, where to hide, suicide is the only way out? For a depressed adolescent, that's probably a thought that would stick with him.
Well, I mean, if you single that line out, it may sound that way, but in context of the rest of the song, the whole thing was about just drinking yourself to death. It was a warning for anybody that thinks that drinking is a solution to any problem. Then it isn't. You're just going to kill yourself.
Some of the views expressed by the heavy metal singers there, they're obviously out to incite the strongest possible reaction from their audience. And the consequences of those those emotions being released can't be fully, I suppose, understood. Do you understand the damaging side of releasing those negative emotions?
Well, yeah, I mean, other bands do that, and sometimes purposely, just for sensationalism. But any lyrics that I write, I always try to sort of take responsibility for, you know, the people who are going to hear them and you know, who it may affect.
Ozzy Osbourne has holds the distinction of being one of the few men ever to bite the head off a bird live on stage.
Yeah, actually it wasn't on stage, it was at a record conference.
Was it?
Yeah, and he did that just to freak him out. He actually did bite the head off a live dove.
It's an effective move.
I think he was drunk at the time. Yeah,
but you see that role model behaviour, and if you like,
he's a
self-destruction.
Yeah, he's a pretty crazy guy, you know. He does influence a lot of the young kids. But I mean, if anybody's going to point the finger at anybody, I think the parents should look at themselves in the mirror and go, hey, where did we go wrong? Because that kid was obviously very disturbed to do something like that in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, what do? You sort of write warning on the album or something. After you listen to this album, try not to go out and kill yourself or anybody else. You know.
Maybe a thought for the future. Bob Daisy, thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
So there you go. A controversy that was a non-controversy, and the media and lawyers trying to make things into stuff that they aren't. Let's see. So I got. What do you think? What's your opinion?
What, on the suicide solution thing?
No, just not necessarily that case, but just that as a whole. You know.
Well, I remember at the time it was a media blitz. They were hammering that home. And I was an edgy kid. In fact, they always watched me through high school because I was really edgy. They thought I was going to kill somebody or do something stupid because I was really into the death shit for my poetry and crap because I was a creative writer guy and turned into an auto mechanic. What the fuck's up with that? But anyway... yeah, I just couldn't believe how stupid it was, honestly. And just it was the moral panic bullshit, which was driven a lot by the Puritans of the time, and I think we're swinging back towards that, and we're going to see a lot more of that in the more recent future than we could expect.
Yeah.
Because we've already swung the other way through the last 4 years, way far to the other side of that. Now we're going to have to swing back just as hard the other direction. I'd like to see us meet a middle ground, honestly.
That'll never happen.
No, it won't. But I think that's what Ozzy's message was, hey, wait a minute, let's mellow out a little bit here, guys.
Yeah.
Here's this dark shit. Here's this dark shit. But hey, let's kind of meet in the middle and just have a good time and get drunk.
Yep. Yeah. So we're moving through his career a little bit. So, you know, how do you pick a good, like, one from his early solo stuff? So for me, you know, yeah, Crazy Train, great song, a little overplayed. For me, this video was, you know, with the advent of MTV, this video was just totally made, you know, it was the first, like, exposure I had to Ozzy, number one. Number two, it's interesting. I didn't watch all of it today. I just watched a little bit of it. I'm like, oh, it doesn't have Randy in it. So this was made after there was like this little bit of in-between time, you know, after Randy, but before, I forget the name of his, there was like a guy before Zach, I forget his name off the top of my head.
He was kind of short-lived, if I remember right.
Yeah. So, you know, they were, I guess, trying to figure out, you know, how to keep this Ozzy thing going, despite the death of Randy Rhoads. So, in any case, this video was my first real, like, oh, this is Ozzy. This weird guy, Ozzy. Okay, so I'm gonna play this, which is it's 4 minutes. We can survive 4 minutes, I think. It's an awesome video and song. So I'm pretty sure Randy did he like wrote some of the early material on that album. But
Well, I think he played that song actually.
I think he did too. But you know, he died
Right
during
before
the
they
making
went.
of it. Before
Right.
before they finished it. So you know, I was trying to what can I pick out for something in that time period, and that was the one for me. Even though I think there's many good songs from that time period. Just for me, that was my first exposure. That's why I chose it. So, but you know, there's during that time period, there's Crazy Train, there's Diary of a Madman that came out. There's just so many great songs that from 81 to 83, and then it got kind of, you know, as the 80s went, it got more synthesized and whatnot. But there was a good song during that time. I thought, I want to say it was late 80s, mid to like 87 to 89, somewhere in there, called Miracle Man, which I do have, which I'm probably going to play, which is just, you know, he's digging in at one of these preachers who, you know, condemned him. And meanwhile, the preacher was doing all kinds of funky stuff in the background, if you recall. I forget the guy's name. I think he just died.
Well, that was
this year or last year.
That was either directed at Jim Baker or
no, the other
Graham.
one.
Billy Graham.
No, it wasn't Billy Graham. It was the guy who was having an affair with his secretary or something, and he got on TV. He was like, you know, he was crying and he's like, "Please forgive me."
I thought that was Billy Graham, but now that I think about it, you're right. Swaggart, Jimmy Swaggart.
Jimmy Swaggart.
Yeah.
Let me just now. I got Google it. Yes, because it was Little Jimmy. He refers to him as Little Jimmy. Let me see. Yeah, yeah, there it is. There's I even found the picture. Let me pull it up. Share screen. Jake E. Lee. That's right. Yeah. Hold on. I'm looking at too many things.
Yeah.
Jake E. Lee. Yeah. Tim got
that
it
was
there.
Definitely Jimmy Swaggart asking for forgiveness in front of God.
Please forgive me.
He never did recover from that.
No. Yeah. Once you know, you die publicly like that.
Baker
Not die, but you know.
Baker did, and so did frickin' Graham. Both of them had similar transgressions.
Yeah. Let me see. Jimmy Swaggart. So, you know, we're talking about you know, Ozzy's like his personality and whatnot. I thought Ozzy just was funny in many respects, and I found this clip from it's like 14, 15 years old of him doing this Jimmy or Jersey Shore skit, and it's just so fucking funny to me. I don't know why. So I'm gonna play it because I just, even though, you know, nobody knows Jersey Shore anymore or anything like that, but it's just perfect Ozzy being his silly Ozzy self. To me, he was just a silly, fun guy. So here we go.
I won't hurt you.
Look at Snooki. She's not even happy right now.
Hey, who bought the fucking midget?
Go fuck yourself, honestly.
Oh, you don't pull up with fucking speakers.
I don't like you.
Hey, you just shut the fuck up and come and blow me.
You're a dick.
Come on. That was funny.
That needed to be said way more often than it got said.
Shadow Sonata says, "Can we recreate the Titan submarine and put the entire cast of Jersey Shore on it?" Yeah,
oh,
sure.
God, please, yes.
But I'm glad those people just disappeared. But it disappeared off like their 15 minutes of fame ended, and we didn't have to see them anymore.
They still show up in the crime blotters occasionally.
I'm sure they do.
They do. I'm not being facetious about that.
Yeah. But let's see. Are we ready for another song? Well, like get too much music, but Ozzy was a musician, so you gotta play some. So here's the song we were just talking about. Go ahead.
Hang on a second though. Did you find a copy of Lead Clones? Or do you even know the song?
I can't say I'm familiar with that one.
Okay, that one was a song that was kind of a pirate recording that Ozzy sang on it.
Really?
And he was bitching about groups like Kingdom Come, who were Led Zeppelin clones. In your research, look it up later on. Lead clones, LED clones.
Okay.
The recording that I've found is really shitty, but it is the song. We used to play it on the radio when I was growing up all the time. Anyway,
recall hearing that one.
Oh man, it's a great song. And I mean, it's just a total skewering of all these guys that are copying Led Zeppelin's grandeur.
Okay, so this one is Miracle Man,
yeah.
and it's about Jimmy Swagger. Swagger.
Scene in that video, because I remember the video.
Oh, where he was
humping the pig as he was singing about it getting caught with his pants down. That was so perfect.
Yes. And Shadows on a good comment there. Usual Suspects claimed it was an attack on Christianity when it was aimed at the mega church scam artists, which there was a lot of at the time, and there still is.
Oh yeah,
it hasn't changed.
Joel Olsen.
Yeah, those types of send me money and we'll get you closer to God. And meanwhile they got all kinds of shit going on. And then there was around that same time there was Jimmy Swagger. There was the other one who was with Jessica, whatever her name was, the secretary. Remember that guy?
That was one of the presidential hopefuls.
Was he really? I don't remember him being a presidential hopeful.
That was the one running against Bush, I want to say.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was Jessica Rice, right?
No. He was this little. He was a preacher, one of these televangelists, and his wife Tammy Faye.
Oh, that was Jim Baker.
Jim Baker. Okay. And,
Jessica
something.
Jessica Hahn. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, she ended up in Playboy and made a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
And then Tammy Faye died of breast cancer or something.
Oh, that's a shame.
It couldn't have been all the makeup she wore.
No, because that stuff was tested on animals beforehand. So.
Well, we always said that what she did is she'd paint a shovel and then slap her face with it, and that's how she got her makeup on.
Oh yeah,
it was that freaking thick.
I recall, and the eyelashes.
Oh God,
that was like her signature. Was just the globbed on eyelashes.
Damn near a foot long, it seemed like. Ugh,
yeah.
She was nasty. And then her face had melted. She'd start crying during her testimonials. Oh, God.
Shout us not. Jim Baker turned out he was also into dudes, really, considering what he was married to. Was it any wonder? Yeah.
Pat Robertson.
Pat Robertson.
But Pat Robertson was never one of those.
He was on the 700 Club. That was his deal.
Yeah, he was the 700 Club, but he was never one of those guys that dipped his wick, or at least got caught.
At least he didn't get caught. But he seemed very much like Mr. Rogers, but angry.
Angry, yeah.
He's like an angry Mr. Rogers, just sitting there and telling you how awful you are and how you have to repent and everything.
Father, no, you may be correct that she died from Tyrone.
Oh, man.
If we know what that means.
If you know, you know.
Sure his name wasn't Tiberius.
All right, so we don't have to watch this whole thing. This is kind of this is Ozzy being just nice Ozzy. I don't know. Again, to me, he always seemed like he'd be very approachable, but maybe that's just part of the mystique. But I don't know. Usually, that kind of stuff comes out that you're not really what you are. But he seems like he was really what he was. I love you. see. Okay.
I just want to tell you, because I may never see you again, that you are my favorite musician in the world.
Give me a hug.
Hi. Here we go. Stop trying to kill your sister. Hi. I'm Ozzy Osbourne. It's good to be back here again. Last year we had a rather bad accident when we did this. I hope one of them doesn't puke over me again this year. Keep on going, folks. Oh my God. Why? Why can't you be like the Osmonds?
And that's probably, what's their names? The older ones now. The one who's just is getting married, and it was probably them.
Kelly.
Kelly and God, I forget the other kid's name. Now
That was probably it's probably Kelly and Jack at that point.
Jack.
Jack's the youngest. Jack is the one that ran around the world with Ozzy, and they got to see all that cool shit. They did a whole series on it.
I never watched that. I should watch that now.
I want to. I thought they had some really cool adventures, and it was kind of like Jack saying, "No, Dad, we're going to go see the world now because you never did. You were always drunk in a hotel room."
Yeah. Right. He did see the world, but he didn't see it. Right. What a life he left. He lived more lifetimes than most people will ever live.
He got more than his share, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Seems kind of worried and uptight and on edge. I thought, I got to do something. I want to cheer up my staff. I want to make my staff happy. I want to lift their spirits. But we have a special guest today who's going to try and lift everybody's spirits. Let's have a nice hand for Ozzy Osbourne. Anyone has a problem or wants to talk or needs help in any way, Ozzy's here. Isn't that right, Ozzy?
That's right. I'm here. I didn't make this. I didn't get sick. It's not my fault.
And Tracy does a really good job.
Oh God, no! You're not letting him in. Oh bloody hell! Hello, Dave. All right, lovely.
Here's Paul McCartney.
It's great to meet you, man. It's been a lifetime ambition of mine. You guys made me start music,
After the burglary.
Very good.
I love that story, man, with the gloves with no fingers.
Yeah, that's typical me.
Yeah, I love the story where you bite the head off the dog there. That was great. That was really something. Yeah.
Paul McCartney was such a dick. Such a high and mighty asshole for being as low birth as Ozzy was.
Yeah. Although, he's a great musician, but
sure.
I really loved that story.
At least Ozzy didn't marry a one-legged woman and get his ass ripped off.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, I can't believe you said that.
This is actually kind of funny. Two guys who you can barely understand having a conversation. They should have made this into a show right here. The Paul McCartney and Ozzy show.
Dude, and then added in Rod Stewart on top of it. Oh, God. What are you talking about?
Oh,
hey, I fucked Stacy's mom. We're going to hell. Oh well. We'll join Ozzy for drinks.
There you go.
Hey, I'll see you later, Paul.
Yeah, all right, man. Come on, let's have a quick picky. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Doing press right now, in-stores and all that.
Hey, listen, do you ever see that early stuff of the Beatles? Which one? The Maisels.
I've got absolutely everything.
Okay. Meet Albert Maisels.
Oh, yeah, man!
That's Al.
Sharon! I don't even know who this is. He must be a British TV show.
Yeah, some British guy.
Ozzy, what are you doing here? She forgot the bloody cake. It's the audience. I've been running up the road with the bloody putting the candles on and up all the way here.
Ozzy, what do you do when you are home? Do you try to be like the time that you do spend at home? Do you really try like to participate? Do you go to PTA
that's
meetings?
Jones
Do you
Rivers'
meet the teachers?
voice.
Do you-
The thing is, it's very difficult
Oh,
being
yes.
like a telephone father because
Yeah.
you miss them so much. And when I come back from being on tour or being away for such a long time, I tend to be like Santa Claus. I bring them gifts because of the fact that I haven't been there on a daily basis to be their father. You know, I mean, I adore my kids. And so it's like
Kind of looks a little like Benny Hill there.
list over the phone.
Yeah.
I want a tank. I want to look like a desert rat, or I want a doll, or you know.
Didn't that kid go on to be like Buckethead or something?
Really? That I don't know, but maybe. I don't know.
I don't know either. I know he's a serious rock musician, though. Hell of a virtuoso.
Little Asian kid.
Yeah, he's Japanese.
Some of the Japanese guitar players are pretty damn good.
Oh my God! Talk about talent.
He had a lot of grandkids too, but he had like 10 grandkids or something like that. Oh my God!
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Here it
He's
goes.
playing Pie Face.
You go 10 times and it's my turn.
Very funny.
Oh my
Honestly, I'm not a big fan of Sharon, even though
I'm not either.
She did save his fucking life and his career.
Awesome. That was awesome. Absolutely awesome.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you rate the kids?
10 out of 10. Go on.
When did you start playing music?
When I first heard a band called the Beatles, that changed my whole life.
Have you heard that band? Yes, I have. What about the Beatles inspired you to play music?
I remember exactly what I was doing. I was walking down the road with a transistor radio, and this song, She Loves You, came on. And I thought, what is this? It's been crazy for them. There'll never be another band like the Beatles.
So do you have any advice?
You have to have a desire. If you really want to do practice, makes perfect.
You gotta tune in. You gotta tune in to that, to his voice.
You're my favorite musician in the world.
Give me a hug. I have the greatest respect for the true fans. We get people who want to sign a pile of albums and they'll sell on eBay, but they're not fans. But the real fans, you can't. I mean, to look at you would think they're yobs, or whatever, but they're great people. It's just like they've been there forever for me. And now it's got fathers, sons, and sons' kids, you know.
What would you say to those fans that have stuck with you through the highs and the lows?
The bottom of the line is, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be sitting in this house now. I wouldn't be talking to you. They're so loyal. I mean, you can imagine in 50 years what's come and gone. You know, it's just remarkable.
So there you go. Ozzy being Ozzy. All right, let me get rid of that. Should I put a link on it if anybody else wants to join?
Sure, if you'd like.
Looks like we got some good fans in the chat here.
Seeing as nobody else is paying attention to the link that's already up.
Well, that link is in Gilded. So
Right. And none of those guys are paying attention is what I'm getting at.
No. So
I'm putting the guilt on those bastards.
I'll put a link in if anybody wants to join in. I see we've definitely got some Ozzy fans in the audience. I see Edwin still poo-pooing on Ozzy. Oh, what can you do? So after the 80s ended, and the 90s come in, and now we got grunge, which I like a lot of grunge. There's a lot of grunge I don't like, but there's a lot of grunge. I like the heavier, like Alice in Chains stuff.
Hated the
Ozzy
songwriting though. God,
What's
I
that?
hated the song. I hated the songwriting. God, the lyrics were shit. Music was great.
Music was great. Lyrics, who cares? I mean, especially you listen, like I love STP, and you read like Scott Weiland's song, who I did get to meet that guy. You read his lyrics and they're fucking awful.
The only one that ever made any sense was Rooster, you know.
Oh yeah, that was Alice in Chains. Yeah,
that was Alice in Chains. But yeah, okay.
So let's see. We're gonna. So as the grunge movement was coming around, all of a sudden here comes Ozzy again.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of another kind of rebirth of his career. He had so many, like, he just kept it going.
Mm-hmm.
To me, like, he'd disappear for a while and then he'd come back and it'd be just as good as it was 10 years before,
or better.
Yeah. So this was No More Tears, is it?
He had 5 major rebirths.
Yeah. Tell me a musician who's been able to do that. I can't think of one, to be honest.
No.
Like legit, like not just like playing the hits again, like serious, like coming out with
new
music that was like, oh, this is a damn good song. So this was like one of his rebirths that came around, and it was this damn good song. So
I got a story after this song. Play it.
Okay, here we go. We're gonna play No More Tears. So to me, this was early 90s from what I recall. I remember when this song came out, and
early
it just kind of crashed through the grunge thing. It was like, oh yeah, Ozzy's still around, and Ozzy still fucking rocks. Great song.
Mm-hmm.
Broken Pine says, man, that song brings back memories. Absolutely. The thing about music is they're usually like a soundtrack to your own life in many ways, right? You remember what you were doing when you heard a song. You remember a feeling, all different kinds of things. And songs are amazing like that. They can bring back memories and feelings and make you feel good, make you feel bad, make you feel different ways. But we got some other guys have joined. We got
Hey, we got Ed.
Ed.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep. And we got Godfather of Ramadi. Father No, I did put a link in if you didn't see it. It's in the chat there. What's up, guys?
Not much. I heard about the Ozzy thing when I was at the gym the other day, and I was like, oh, that's sad, but too bad. I just recently kind of got into metal a little bit, so like I'm going to have to add him onto my playlist when I'm driving.
So many great songs.
Man,
So many great.
I heard about his passing yesterday, but it didn't really hit me until today. So I've been kind of bummed out and grieving and grieving and celebrating in my own way. But I didn't find out about Ozzy until the 80s because I'm a Gen X kid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about the echo, man.
That's all right. No, I'm glad you called in. I don't think we have you been on the show before? I think you have.
You just played No More Tears, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No More Tears would not have sounded the way it sounded without Zakk Wylde and Randy Castillo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. It was good.
What were you gonna say, Billy?
Well, I was gonna say a lot of people unfairly labeled, kind of wrote Zakk off early on as being, oh, he's just a Randy Rhoads wannabe replacement, whatever. but
No.
he is definitely
if
his
you listen
own.
if you listen to Blizzard of Oz or before anything before that, no. Zach Wild is not even close to Randy Rhoads.
Yeah, no, they're two different styles, but complements Ozzy just so completely. And here's a funny, speaking of No More Tears, and we were talking about grunge before. Here's an interesting story. I remember that Dave Grohl said that they were recording whatever the Nirvana first album was, Nevermind, and they were in LA recording it at a sound studio that has like a bunch of different studios, and in the recording studio next door to them was Ozzy recording that album, and they would see like Ozzy, in the halls and whatnot, and he would be, Ozzy, and then he'd go and they'd listen in a little bit of him singing, and it would be like, oh no, that's Ozzy, like there he is. But there was like almost like two Ozzies. There was the on stage and the performance and the singing Ozzy that and then there was like the real Ozzy that you got to see in the Osbourne, where he was kind of like this old, kind of Uncle Ozzy, kind of muttering his way, muttering his way through life.
Well, Billy, you said something earlier before you brought me on about how the whole grunge thing, and I never really thought about it until you mentioned it, and that's funny because I grew up in that time period. The whole grunge thing happened. Nirvana and Pearl Jam and Soundgarden, or any of these other bands that you want to throw out there. But then Ozzy still put out the No More Tears album and never skipped a beat.
Yeah, no, he didn't. For me, see, I like a lot of grunge because grunge finally broke the hair metal bullshit that was happening at the time. From, I want to say, I believe it was around 85, from what I remember, it started coming in to about 90, where it was just a lot of poser like Poison, and like Bon Jovi. Just terrible to me, terrible music.
I never put Ozzy in that category.
No, neither did I. But like he kind of disappeared in the late 80s. He had a couple of songs, but he wasn't at the forefront. They were really pushing at the time, from my memory. They were really pushing bands like Poison, and especially Bon Jovi was on TV and on the radio all the fucking time. Guys like Winger, and just hair metal garbage, in my opinion. And then came grunge, and it just put a fucking stop on all that. There were still bands. There was like, Guns N' Roses came out in like 88. So there was still kind of an undertone of hard, heavy metal that wasn't
fucking Pistols and Posies. Yeah, fuck those guys.
Well, at least they weren't playing into the whole poser, like spray their hair up and wear makeup. And
Axl was, but the rest of them weren't.
No, but it was like Polska Bob, glam metal, hair metal. It was just, to me, it was absolute. It was just,
Ozzy,
terrible.
Yeah,
but then Ozzy stayed true, to
you can, but you can look back at Ozzy and look at some of the shit that he wore on stage and be like,
yeah. There's definitely some weird outfits, which was probably Sharon dressing him, but
I mean, I never chalked him up into the hair metal category because he was never that.
Yeah, to me he wasn't either.
Ozzy was his own animal.
Yep.
And he, like I said, the whole grunge thing happened, and then No More Tears came out, or either No More Tears came out and then grunge happened. But either way, it didn't affect Ozzy in the slightest. He kept going, and like I said, after Black Sabbath, when he got kicked out of Black Sabbath, he reinvented himself. Not reinvented himself, but he carried on with Randy Rhoads, and then J.K. Lee, and then Zach Wilde. And he's the Godfather, man. He's the Godfather of metal. He's an icon, and I'm really sad that he's been taken from us, but I know that he's up in heaven right now, and I hope that he's blowing them motherfuckers' ears out.
I hope so too. You know, he's for me, he's one of those evergreen sounds. You know, for me through his whole career, like, and there's some bands that I listened to years ago that I'm like, I'm really not into that. Examples would be like Dokken. You know, if I put on, I loved Dokken at one time. If I put on Dokken now, I'd be like, bleh. You know, if I put on like Twisted Sister now, it's kind of like jokey, you know. But you put on Ozzy from that same time frame or before or after that time frame, it just sounds great to me, in my opinion. Again, everybody's tastes are different, but to me, I haven't lost my taste for it ever.
No.
So
Any time I've listened to Ozzy Osbourne, whether it's Black Sabbath or him as a solo artist, didn't matter what my mood was at the time, but my mood improved.
Yeah. No, I get it. I totally get it. So we'll move into, I only got a couple more songs for you guys. To me, this, again, like an evergreen, always sounding like Ozzy sound. So this was, you know, really later in his career. And when you think about it, he was in his 60s when they put this out. And to me, this sounds just as good as his early stuff. And to me, it's a great song. And it's kind of like a tribute to the fans. It's a song "Get Me Through." So this was released during when they were doing their last tour, you know, the last Black Sabbath tour.
What was that, 2000s? Early 2000s? It Gets Me Through?
No, "Get Me Through" was like 20, I want to say 15, 16, somewhere in there.
It Gets Me Through?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure. I mean, I'm going by memory on all this. You know, I didn't look up facts or dates, but I'm pretty sure.
Man, it's Ozzy. It's all good, brother.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm accurate on my. I'm usually pretty good at remembering years and when things came around and all that. So I know this was around the time that it was before I went to that last concerts with Black Sabbath that they were doing. I remember getting the album or the CD. I still got it in my collection somewhere. All right, so this is "Gets Me Through." Play that.
What? Something happened.
Man, that was for the fans, man. If you can't realize that was him paying homage to his fans, then
Totally. And you know, I think that you mentioned it. I think you are right. I think that came out a little bit earlier. I'm thinking of I'm thinking of the last Black Sabbath album.
Well, hey, Billy.
Yeah.
I don't know how many Ozzy songs you were planning on playing, but can I throw you a request?
Sure.
It's called "I'll See You on the Other Side."
That's actually my last song that I was going to play tonight.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. All
right. Let's see. Oh, it was. You know what? The album I'm thinking of is called 13, and I think it was "End of the Beginning."
Well, there was another good one, man. That was kind of an homage to the fans. I don't want to stop.
Yes, I do remember that song. Yep.
But I'll see you on the other side. I think that's fitting.
Yeah, we can end with that.
Yeah.
I know Father No, he said he was having problems with his
Microphone. He was having having problems.
Sorry, he
couldn't figure
join. I'm not going to play End of the Beginning because it's an 8-minute song. But it's a good song. So check it out when this is over. Unless you're Edwin, who feels like he's losing brain cells as he's listening, and he thinks he's listening to the same song over and over again. What can I tell you, man? Like I said, no hate. It's okay. Not everybody has to like the same stuff. That's fine. Billy play National Acrobat by Sabbath. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it with See You on the Other Side, and then I have his last, the very last song that we'll leave on the outro before final thoughts. So I think I'll just play this song now, and then this is how I'm celebrating the life tonight, is just playing a bunch of his stuff and playing some fun videos. And we're almost to the end here. It's almost 11 o'clock, so I want to end around 11, but we're going to go just a little bit late. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we definitely have a lot.
This was awesome, brother. Awesome. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. No, hey. Like I said, I wasn't surprised that he passed. I was kind of surprised he passed just like literally after he put on that concert.
Yeah, dude, that's metal as fuck. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad, but that's metal as fuck.
Yep.
To go out like that after your last live performance, that's metal as fuck.
That's what we call dying with the boots on. That's how my dad went. He died with his boots on, and we buried him in the ground wearing his fucking boots. And I'm sure Ozzy is going to be buried wearing some boots and some pretty cool outfit. All right. So this one is called See You on the Other Side. And then we'll do final thoughts, and then we'll end with the last show. Oh, Father No joined. So let me get him in here real quick.
Oh, he figured it out.
He did. Father No. Are you there? Are you there? He's in. He's in. Can you hear us? Father No, you are on stage.
He's probably in the bathroom.
Lemmy died 2 weeks after his last show. I didn't realize that. Another one dying with his boots on. That's, if you guys want to see like a concert, make sure you see whoever you want to see. Don't put it off. Don't be like, I'll wait till he comes around again. Maybe I'll see him when he does his next tour a couple years from now. You might never get that opportunity. So if you want to see somebody you always wanted to see, go see him. I entered without the mic. You can jump back off and come back in. So we're going to play this song, and then hopefully you'll get your mic unfucked there, Father No, and then we'll call it a night. So here we go. Yet, come on. I got to read a couple from Flashgator over on Rumble as he donated. So he says, some of my favorite Sons of a Guns. Have a good night, gents. Then he says, it's Ozzy, baby. And then he's saying, can you be bribed to play Mama, I'm Coming Home? I'm actually going to finish the show on that. So I put together.
Really? You're going to play Mama, I'm Coming Home? That's going to hurt.
Well, yeah. And I have, I made like just a little photo tribute. Just I grabbed a bunch of pictures and put it to the video and to the music, and that's how it's going to end. And this video is going to get like 20 copyright claims, so you might not see it after tonight.
I think they're gonna shove your channel off the YouTube.
No, they'll just what they'll do if depending on who's handling the music, they'll either, they'll either do one of three things. They'll either say it can't be monetized. Okay, big deal. They'll say if it does get monetized, we get your money. And the third thing they could say is your video is, or actually there's four things they could say. Your video is blocked in some territories, which will be Russia. And then the fourth one will say your video can't be seen because it has copyright. So cut out the copyright and we'll let it then be seen.
Yeah.
Those are one of four scenarios. They won't actually take you off unless you're like blatantly like showing movies like I did one time.
Hey, Billy, question.
Yeah.
I've heard that See You on the Other Side, he said I've heard that he wrote that for Sharon, but I've also heard that he wrote that as a tribute to Randy.
Maybe.
I like to believe that he wrote that song for Randy.
I think so too. I think that was, I think for him that was a huge turning point in his life. Like I said, he was a man at the end of his rope, at the end of his life at that point when Sharon found him. Like he was gonna die from drinking himself to death.
Mm-hmm.
And between Sharon and Randy re-energizing him, that brought him back from the death that he was door he was knocking at. So, and then we were lucky to have him for as long as we did, because he could have died right there, and then we would have never known, all these other things we now know and we're given.
Oh no, man, Ozzy, dude, he was a warrior.
Yeah,
he was a warrior.
Yeah. Did you ever get to see him in concert?
I never did, unfortunately.
There was always the Ozfest thing, but I don't like going to those big festivals because you guys sit through a bunch of bands that you don't really care to see, or and it's hot. Usually they do it in the middle of summer, and so I never saw the Ozfest stuff, but I would see when he played, just him, or as the headlining act, or those kind of things.
No, I actually, One Fast Dak posted a video yesterday, but I just saw it today. It was the 1970 original, I guess the original video of Paranoid by Black Sabbath. And just, watching Ozzy as a young man, and then, watching him through the years. And I said this in my comment, and this is just my opinion. As a fan, I said, watching him perform live on stage, I believe that he was never more alive and in the moment, giving the fans everything that he had.
Oh yeah.
And loving every minute of it.
Yep. Yeah. So we'll go around the room real quick before we get off here. Let me just spam fodder says the best quote ever from Ozzy. Of all the things I've lost, I miss my mind the most. I hope he finds the rest of his missing mind in the afterlife. Yeah. Tom, what you got for us, Tom?
That No Rest for the Wicked album, which was No More Tears. My mother bought that on CD in '91. That was a morning ritual. My mother is now 72 years old and still listens to Godsmack and Ozzy Osbourne.
No shit.
No shit. Yep.
Good for her.
Yeah, she's a pain in the ass. Love that woman.
Oh, Edwin says, sorry, Elvis is still the king. See, you could like Elvis too. Like, I don't mind Elvis. You know, I went to Graceland. I had a fucking blast at Graceland. I loved hanging out in Elvis's fucking house. I have a picture of myself in every room of Elvis's house wearing the Elvis glasses and being, hey, baby, I'm hanging out in Elvis's kitchen, baby. But you can like other things too, so I like other things too. Maybe I'll convert you, Edwin. What do you got for us, Ed?
Not much really. Just I think it was said earlier. If you have a person you like, go make a point to go see them in person.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And you know, you can get cheap tickets if you look hard enough. I know some bands are like, you know, their prices are just always outrageous, and you know, if you really want to see them, maybe bite the bullet. But you know, you can always find cheap, you know, on resale. Some venues just have cheap seats if you get there soon enough.
Make it happen.
So, make it happen for sure.
Yeah.
Life is only so long. And you know, the worst thing is to have a regret about something. Be like, I wish I saw him before he left, or I wish I did this, that, or the other thing. Never, no regrets, as they say. What do you got for us, Godfather of Ramadi?
No, I mean, I never had the pleasure of seeing Ozzy Osbourne live, so that's going to be a regret. But you know, the music his music has got me through a lot of rough patches in my life.
Yeah, it's a great thing about music, isn't it? Music
So I
is
thank him for that.
Yeah, music is just such an awesome thing as humans have figured out to do.
Yep.
Let's see, Father. No, I think you still have a fucked up mic, but thanks for coming. Enjoy your avatar.
I do quite enjoy it.
Yeah, and you know, even though Edwin poo-pooed on Ozzy all night, you stayed the whole night, and hopefully, maybe I converted you. Maybe you know, maybe you may listen to some of his stuff. Give it a try. You never know. You never know. You might find something. You go, hey, you know, that's not bad.
I gotta add that to the playlist here.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to put you in the back real quick. I might stay for a little bit afterwards. Well, I will come back in the after show, but I'm not going to have a long after show, so I'll put you in the background. All right. See you in a moment or two. All right, guys. Thanks everybody for coming and sharing Life of Ozzy. And you know, the hard thing for I think everybody here is going to be that we are going to lose a lot of people that we grew up with, that we hold you know, someplace dear in our hearts or minds, and that's going to be difficult. So then this is just one of many of those losses that we're going to feel over the next however many years, the course of our lives, being at least me, a Gen Xer, and some of our younger listeners, you know. So enjoy the time you have and cherish the time you have, and cherish you know, the things you could do and the things you can see while you still can. So I'm going to leave you with Mama, I'm Coming Home. I put this together last night. I'll see you guys in about 2 weeks, and I hope you have a great rest of your week and a great weekend coming up, and we'll see you next time. All right, guys, take care.